Hey there guys, I'm assuming if you found this video that you're trying to make lo-fi chords in the easiest way possible. Well, you've come to the right place. You've no doubt seen videos like this. Okay, so to make a lo-fi chord, we're just going to play the quantum 5th dominant, sustained minor flagrine B, followed by the reverse inverse Daedric scale in 11th. Okay, there you go, thank you, please subscribe. And that's just too confusing. So then you go to Reddit and ask entitled nerds for their take. Hey guys, can you please let me know how to make lo-fi chords? I'm new to making music. And then you usually get a response like this. Lo-fi chords? Such an uninformed question. You really don't even know what you're asking, and it shows you have a complete lack of knowledge of music theory. Maybe you should take 4 years of schooling for $200,000 and actually learn music theory before you come here spouting such trivial nonsense. And that's where I come in. Look, I don't know much music theory, and some may say none at all. But I do know how to make chords, and more importantly, I know how to make lo-fi chords in the easiest way possible. So here we are in everyone's favorite, FL Studio. First add your sampler, which is essentially an empty track with nothing in it, then go to your piano roll of the sampler. Next, hit a stamp tool, which is this little purple icon in the top left. Click that and you'll be greeted by a beautiful drop-down that contains everything your lo-fi producer heart desires, mainly scales. As you can see, we have a lot to pick from here, but for now we'll just click major. Now what? Well, it's simple. Just pick any note here. Want the B major scale? You got it. Want the A sharp major scale? Boom, you got it. You can literally click any note and it will give you the major scale of that note. For this video, let's just pick the big D major scale. Fantastic. Now let's spread the scale out for 4 bars and then copy and paste it so we have the scale in several octaves. What I mean is just move the D major scale higher or lower. Copy and click D up here, copy and click D down there. You can do this across the whole piano roll if you wanted to, but always make sure that the bottom note of what you're pasting is on D. Do not make them overlap or this will be wrong. Now that that's done, let's finally make our chords. Add in FL keys within the same pattern. Now go to the piano roll of FL keys, and holy S, those are all the notes that we've added in our sampler. You now have the D major scale to paint over with your FL keys notes. How do we make our chords though? It's super easy. You click a note, skip a white line, click a note, skip the next white line, click a note. Now we have a triad. What's that? It's just a 3-note chord. I think. It doesn't matter. So let's listen. Okay, that doesn't really sound lo-fi or jazzy, right? Well, I'm about to blow your GD mind. All you have to do is continue the chord. So go back to your chord, skip a line, click the note. Skip the next line and click a note. Now we've created a 9th chord. This is really what you have to do to make a chord sound jazzy. Let's listen to it. Oh my god. I won't get into the music theory of why this sounds jazzy because frankly I don't know. All I know is that this is the easiest way to make a jazzy sounding chord. So I continued on using that method I just described and made this little riff here. Quick note. Sometimes chord progressions that you make won't sound right. That's because some chords just don't sound as good when followed by certain ones within a scale, but it's really not a big deal. All you have to do is just keep messing around with your chord progression until it sounds good to you. It's as easy as that. Now let's take a listen to what I made here. Wow, that sounds pretty good. But not good enough. So what can we do to make it a little more interesting for all of our dear listeners? Well, first we can layer this. Copy the chords that we made, add in another FL keys, and paste the chords. And then move them up or down an octave. A shortcut for this is just Control up arrow or Control down arrow. Now it sounds more full. But to avoid having this sound blasting our eardrums off, let's just lower one of these a little bit. Put both FL keys on a channel rack and then adjust the volumes to what sounds good. Now it gives the illusion of a fuller sound. But we can do even better. A trick that I like to use is to go to a note within your chord. Usually I go to the second from the top. Just drag it over a little bit and bam. Now just like that we have a little melody and variation playing within the chords that we made. And you can get as crazy with it as you want to. I mean heck, maybe even add in some notes that aren't within the chord that you made and just use the ghost D notes as a guide. You can really do whatever you want to make it sound unique. But Matt, you say, this sounds too major, it's too happy, and I want some sad boy S for my lo-fi. Well, I got you covered. Let's start a new project. Add in our sampler again and hit our friend the stamp tool one more time. We're going to make these chords in the minor scale. We basically do the exact same thing, except we pick the minor natural Aeolian. That's just the minor scale. Once again, click wherever the heck you want. Let's pick E minor. We do exactly what we did before. Cover your piano roll in the sampler with an E minor scale throughout all the octaves. Now add in your FL keys and make a chord progression using the same skip technique we did last time. Mess around until it sounds good. Great, we have another progression here. But what if we're really not vibing with the scale we picked? Well, good news. Now that we made this, we can simply transpose the chords, meaning we can just drag this chord progression up or down as much or as little as we want. And just like that, you're in a new scale. What scale? I honestly don't know. You'd have to identify the notes in your chords and match it to a scale, and admittedly, I'm not that good. But again, it's a quick way to change the scale and tone of your entire progression. And that's pretty much it. A quick guide on how to make lo-fi chords in the simplest way possible. It might not be the most detailed guide, but anyone can do it. It's just a quick and dirty way to dive in and get going producing music. And trust me, the more you practice, the better you'll get at making songs. I'll end here with a quick song I made using this technique. So if you liked the video or found something helpful, then please consider subscribing. I'm actually closing in on 1,000 subs, which would really make my Christmas if we got there. But if not, that's fine too, I guess. Have a good holiday, everyone. And while your family is around for the holidays, make sure to give them your SoundCloud because they'll definitely enjoy that. Alright, peace out.